Welcome to English 4. Today I will be reviewing the Mountain Vista High School Senior Project. If you were absent the day that we reviewed this packet in class, please listen to this tutorial as you follow along with your packet and then make an appointment to speak with your English 4 teacher. On page 2 of this packet, you will see a table of contents. This will allow you to quickly find whatever it is that you may be looking for within the packet. There are currently 3 teachers that teach English 4, Mr. Fisher, Miss Rhodes, and Mrs. Layton. You can find this senior project packet and all information regarding the senior project under their websites in the senior project section. Please feel free to speak with Mr. Fisher, Miss Rhodes, or Mrs. Layton at any time regarding the senior project. It is not necessary to be one of our students to come speak with us if you need help. On page 3, you will find a calendar of major due dates. This calendar is for the 18-19 school year. When we receive the finalized calendar from the district for the 1920 school year, we will update the calendar of major due dates. When it is updated, you will see the dates on all 3 teachers' websites under the senior project. Once an assignment has been completed and submitted, the title of the assignment will change from black to red. This will indicate to students and parents that that assignment is past due. If you have an assignment that you have not submitted and it is past the due date, you must still submit the assignment so that you can move on to the next section of the senior project. All of the due dates are firm. That means that we will not accept late work for the senior project. Teachers have the right to amend the calendar based on testing, snow days, and other circumstances. The mission statement for the Mountain Vista Senior Project is located on page 4. Senior Project Mission Statement. The Mountain Vista High School Senior Project serves as a cumulative process where students are afforded the opportunity to validate their skills as 21st century learners by demonstrating proficiency in the following areas: researching and determining valid sources, crafting an argument while anticipating counterclaims, writing an argumentative research paper, designing and managing a portfolio, building a relationship with a mentor while working in an authentic setting, effectively delivering a formal presentation. Page 5 is the Senior Project Overview. The purpose of the Senior Project is to give students a chance to choose an area of study, to combine different disciplines, to explore new avenues in a productive manner, and at the same time to help others and contribute to the community. Each student needs to address a challenging issue that will stretch his or her intellectual and personal growth. In essence, the project will provide a significant learning stretch. It should benefit the community at large and or give insight to a field that he or she may want to pursue as a career. Once the graduating senior has completed the senior project, he or she will have completed a task that has brought maturity, organization, service, learning, and public speaking skills to fruition. It is also important to note that students will be creating and completing these types of projects in their post-high school careers as well. Any student planning to attend a college or university will have to complete major projects like this as a part of the university experience. Most careers also require employees to complete projects like this. Students will have experience in real-world tasks. There is no end to the creativity involved with these projects. There is no limit to what a student can do to challenge himself or herself and learn and help others in the process. Any of the projects described in this booklet show that the student has used a host of skills that will set him or her apart from other seniors. Senior Project Finished Requirements. You will be completing a 5 to 8 page research paper. You will do a learning stretch, which means you will show growth, you will foster a mentor relationship, and complete 15 hours of field work. You will also be creating an e-portfolio where you put all of the elements of this project. You will be presenting in front of your teacher, a panel, and your class. And you will also be using that presentation to show us your final product. On page 6, you will find topic selection. These are points to consider when you are choosing a topic for the senior project. There are also project guidelines to consider when you are choosing your project. You will be completing a learning stretch. You will be completing 15 hours of fieldwork outside of school. You will log that fieldwork. You will secure a mentor who is not family or a staff member at Mountain Vista High School. Then you will present your information to a panel. That panel will include a parent or guardian, a community member, and an underclassman. There is a brainstorming sheet for you to use here if you so choose. And then if you look on pages 8, 9, 10, and 11, there are a whole host of ideas that you can choose from if you would like, or you can obviously come up with your own idea for a senior project. We just listed several pages here for you in order for you to decide what direction you might like to take. These are all senior projects that have been completed in the past. It is not necessary that you choose from this list. You may 100% do something entirely of your own design. But again, these are some assignments, some projects that have been done in the past. If you are considering doing a fundraiser as part of your senior project, please immediately speak with your teacher. We have to get all fundraising approved by the administration. Oftentimes, it has to be approved by the district as well. The research paper guidelines. The senior project paper is much, much more than just a report. It's an argument about a topic of interest within the field of your senior project topic. For some topics, written information may be hard to find. Therefore, students may use primary as well as secondary sources for information. The paper is likely to cross many disciplines and may require personal interviews. Students should be reminded that research, as the name implies, means they will be exploring, investigating, discovering, stretching, and deciding something about the topic they have chosen. The research paper will be in MLA format. I will post a tutorial on MLA format. You will also include a works cited page that does not count in your 5 to 8 pages of research paper. Again, I will post an MLA format tutorial for you to use that will help you to navigate MLA and works cited pages. If you are not diligent in your citations, you may be accused of plagiarism. Typically speaking, when we encounter citations that are inaccurate or lacking or incorrect, it wasn't out of any malice on the student's part. Typically, it's just an error. However, any type of plagiarism in this paper that will be submitted to Turnitin.com will result in the paper receiving a 0. We do take plagiarism very seriously. We will also be working this year on figuring out what a credible source looks like. We'll do the CRAP test that you were taught when you were freshmen. I may be hosting a tutorial on CRAP test resources as well. The project guidelines. The senior project is different from most other forms of research because it directs students away from books and out into the world for some hands on experience. The senior project must demonstrate a learning stretch. It should push the student to develop new talents, abilities, or interests. The senior project cannot be something previously attempted. Please do not revisit an old middle school or freshman year project. The student must have an end project. Simply completing the fieldwork log and accompanying paperwork does not constitute a project. If the purpose of research is to apply the knowledge in a personal way, then the projects will be as diverse, unique, and varied as the students who will be presenting them. A project will demonstrate a learning stretch through a well-designed project, require documentation of the 15 hours of fieldwork, require a completed mentor verification form, page 24, require a daily fieldwork log documenting the daily student experience, documents ongoing progress, daily challenges, problem solving techniques, etc. You will also be required to produce during your presentation a physical product, meaning something that your audience can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch, or all of the above. There really is no easy way to complete the senior project. It is a year-long project, and we will be spending an inordinate amount of time in class going over various components of the project. It's built, it's designed so that you as students can use each step to make the process easier and to make the process the outcome of the process even better. So you may not skip a step. There is no easy way to get around this 1 year long project. If you stay with your teachers, if you partner with your teachers, if you do the work in class, you will absolutely not only be successful in your project, but you will also have fun while doing it. The presentation is a verbal mode genre specific presentation that you will give to the class. It will be interactive, engaging, and memorable. You may use a visual display of some form, but you are limited to 3 to 5 words per slide if you choose to use a PowerPoint, Prezi, or Google Slideshow. Guest speakers may also be a part of your presentation, but certain guidelines must be discussed with the teacher beforehand. Presentations should be no longer than 15 minutes, but no shorter than 10. So you have a 10 to 15-minute window for your presentation. After the presentation, a question and answer session of no longer than 5 minutes will complete the process. Typically speaking, the question and answer session is about 2 minutes. You need to become an expert on your content so you can easily field questions. There is a time limit to note that presentations that are shorter than 10 minutes will be penalized by length. For example, a 6-minute presentation is 60% of the required time. Therefore, you would be given 60% of the overall earned grade after it's scored on the rubric. You can use videos and guest speakers. However, you do need to meet the minimum of that 10-minute requirement first. Dress code is business attire unless your presentation merits other clothing. For example, if you are doing something automotive related, you may wear an automotive jumpsuit to your presentation. All 3 panel members must be present on the day of your presentation. If your panel members are not present or you are lacking a panel member, each panel member is 5% of your grade, up to 15%. You'll be required to present your learning stretch, your final product, and what you would do differently if given the opportunity. Your research paper's thesis can be presented as well, but that is not required. Some research topics are very closely related to the fieldwork, whereas others may not be. You make the decision, but you will need to meet your time limit, 10 to 15 minutes. Once we finalize the presentation dates and time slots, you need to ask a parent or guardian, a community member, ideally your mentor, and an underclassman, ideally a junior, to be a part of the audience during your selected day and time. The organizing and scheduling will be entirely your responsibility. On page 15, you will find an overview for the fieldwork log that you will be completing. The first semester, you are expected to complete 5 hours of fieldwork, and the second semester, you are expected to complete 10 hours of fieldwork. However, it is possible to complete all 15 hours either during first or second semester. During the physical product fieldwork phase of the senior project, you must keep an up-to-date record of the efforts, results, and time you have spent working on your physical product or fieldwork. The log is important for several reasons. First, it keeps you on task and focused by requiring you to write down all that you have accomplished so far and what you still need to complete. Second, it helps keep a record of time spent on the physical product or fieldwork. Finally, the physical product fieldwork log allows the teacher to realize the effort, thought, and learning stretch you have expended. It will give them a clearer idea of the scope of your physical product fieldwork. Okay, so here is a sample of what you would include in your fieldwork log. Things to include: research for the project, not your research paper. The fieldwork isn't your research paper. Correspondence and meetings with mentors, fieldwork, your final product. Things that I do not want you to include would be your senior paper writing research, portfolio construction, your presentation practice time, driving time. That's not applicable to fieldwork. Page 16 is a sample entry of the fieldwork log. On the left column, you'll see date and time spent. The directions for this column: write the date and the amount of hours or minutes that you spent working on the project. In the middle column is the activity. This is what you did. And then in the right-hand column is your reflection. And you'll be answering all of these questions for each entry in your journal. You are welcome to handwrite your log or type it. If you would like to handwrite it and or type it, we have included in this packet towards the end a fieldwork log, a blank fieldwork log. The physical product guidelines. Your physical product will be evidence of your learning and your fieldwork. You have to be able to show and prove to your audience what you have been doing for the whole year. Simply talking about it is not enough. This will be a separate grade on your second semester final. It is worth 100 points in your final exam category, which is worth 30% of your grade. Below are some examples of final products from previous years. Your learning stretch, rationale, and final product proposal. We will be completing this in class. You will have a topic proposal, what your fieldwork might look like, why you're interested in this project, what the learning stretch will be, and your final product. You will do this in class with your teacher, and we will approve your learning stretch, your rationale, and your final product proposal. Your final product proposal will also need to be approved by the administration. The Senior Project Overview Parent Consent Form. This will be one of your first assignments. Your parent must sign this form acknowledging that you will be completing a senior project in English 4. If you do not complete this project, you will not pass English 4, and English 4 is a requirement to graduate. Once you've decided on your field work, you will fill out this form. You will describe your field work, and your parent or guardian will sign this form. You cannot begin your fieldwork process until your parents have signed this form. We will be working on cover letters and resumes this semester that you can send to your proposed mentor. If you don't know the person, this is a really good way for them to get to know you. We will be doing cover letters and resumes in class. Once you've secured your mentor will fill out this mentor agreement form, agreeing to the project guidelines and agreeing to be your mentor. Page 23 is that fieldwork log I referenced a minute ago. This is the blank fieldwork log. You are welcome to download it and type directly on it, or you are welcome to handwrite it and submit it that way. If you prefer to create your own fieldwork log, that is okay too. At the end of second semester, you will have your mentor complete this mentor verification form. This will verify that you have completed the senior project, the 15 hours of field work with your mentor. This is due second semester. Lastly, in this packet, you will find the rubrics for the senior project presentation. It is a 2-page rubric. We will be using this rubric extensively throughout the year. We will practice grading TED Talks using our rubric. Next, you'll find the research paper rubric. Again, it is 2 pages, and it's for your research paper that you will be submitting second semester. Lastly, you'll find the final product rubric, which will be filled out when you're doing your presentation. So there will be 2 rubrics for your presentation. One will be the actual presentation, and then this rubric will be filled out for what you show us. Remember, that's the 5 senses piece. We need to see, smell, taste, touch, or hear whatever it is that you did for your learning stretch. Lastly, if you have an extenuating circumstance, maybe you get really ill, maybe you have a family emergency, maybe you work a lot and you just didn't have time to get a piece of your senior project completed. Whatever the case may be, we are granting you this extension application, which you can use 2 extensions over the course of the school year. What you will do is complete this before coming to speak with one of your teachers, and you will, with that teacher, agree on a new due date. This form must be filled out 48 hours prior to the due date. There are no exceptions for that. If you believe that you are not going to be able to complete an assignment in the senior project and you do not want to receive a 0 on it, please reach out to your teachers 48 hours ahead of time and fill out this extension agreement, and your teacher will grant you the extension. If you then do not turn in the assignment on the agreed upon extension date, you will receive a 0. The senior project is an awesome undertaking, and most seniors really truly enjoy this process. At the end of each year, when we watch all of these incredible presentations, it is evident how much work, how much time, how much effort that the seniors have put into it. It is truly an incredible, incredible experience. If you have any questions about what I've gone over today, please again reach out to your English teacher, Mr. Fisher, Mrs. Layton, or Miss Rhodes, and we will absolutely guide you through this process. The bulk of the work will be completed in class. However, that 15 hours of field work must be completed outside. We will continue to go over the directions in class. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.